Special teams, which we felt we won the battle of special teams, where we lost it by a significant margin in 2013. Our coverage units were dynamite. Ben kicked the ball great. He punted the ball exceptionally well. They had one opportunity in a punt return. I think they had 5 yards. Kick return, they didn't. Either we had a touchback, we had it at the 17. Our starting field position was around the 30 on our kickoff returns, which was a big difference from the 2014 game, excuse me. And then obviously our Cam making the field goal. That was a big three for a freshman to hit a 43-yarder, and then their guy missing the field goal. So that was really pleasing to us. That we've emphasized special teams an awful lot, and I know we haven't played specifically really well on some of those, and some of that's the drop punts and those things, but we've emphasized those. And then the other area that we were happy about was this is the first opportunity, so to speak, that the 2015 Bison can kind of replicate some of the things we did in 2014 with the offense going down and scoring and having confidence in the 2-minute drill, which we work every Monday, and then the defense going out there and finding a way to stop them. And Trey was right. I heard him in the post game. We do work Hail Mary an awful lot. I've been beaten on Hail Mary back when I was a younger coach at Western Illinois, and so it's something that we really emphasize and have our guys in specific positions. And we're going to look at it because we had 2 guys in our mind out of position that we have to get that squared away, because that's, trust me, I've been there before. It's a miserable way to lose. So I'll take any questions.
Coach, I know it's only been a couple of days, but have you had a chance to look back at all and say, just from the Northern Iowa game to Devin's interception to the way you guys won, heck of a week? Yeah,
it was a great week, great weekend. Got a chance to spend a lot of time with family and friends, and had a great evening on Saturday night. But once you come back to Sunday, especially since we don't meet with our guys, we started right in on South Dakota. I do want to thank Coach Todd Brown. He hosted the football staff for a little batting practice yesterday at 12:30, and that was a lot of fun. Everybody took 10 to 15 cuts in there, other than Polasek, who took about 30 and is sore as heck today. But we had a good time, and appreciate Coach Brown hosting us over there for a little BP.
How'd you do? Are you any good?
I was worried about my hip, Jeff, so I didn't pull the ball real well, but I did at least make contact, and I'm sure Ryan's got some of it on film.
Injury status, how'd you make out? I see Cooner not
Cooner's probably the one. He has not a dislocated elbow, which is good. There's a ligament issue that it's not on his snapping hand, so that's good. I think it's going to be probably 2 weeks. That would probably be best case scenario for us, and so Zemer will step in there. And Zemer did a really nice job. Now, he didn't have to play as many snaps as Austin, but snaps were really good. He had those assignments down. So and having Zach Johnson out for a while and Planker's out for a while, Zach Zemer's played an awful lot of snaps for us this year.
How did Zach Johnson play? He got some limited snaps.
Yeah, he did a nice job. He had a decent amount of snaps. I think he had over 40 snaps, and I think he'll be stronger and a little bit better this week. I thought he did a nice job.
Lance Dunn?
Don't know anything about. We'll find out probably tonight at practice.
Is there something about the read option that gives you guys a specific issue, or is it just game to game?
It's some game to game. It was different. This was a little different than Illinois State's, and a little different than Montana's and so forth. But it's just how you play your defensive end and how you play your linebackers and who's your extra player on the quarterback. And going back and looking on it, we had a player on each spot. We just didn't make a play, and that's something that is we have to work on. We've got to be able to make a tackle when you have an open field tackle on a guy, and if you don't do it, that's the issue with any option football. I don't care if you're playing Georgia Southern, whether it's under center option or read zone option. If you don't hit your fits and make your play, it may be the only guy you have on there on that particular phase of that game. So we're going to change some things up and devise not necessarily a different plan, but kind of revert back to some of the things we've done in the past to defend it.
How did Shepard's shoulder come on, Coach?
I know he was sore after the game. But I envision him practicing a little bit this week, and our hope is, in Bobby's experience on this, the second time or the second week through, you should be able to get through a full game. So that's our hope. I don't know that. We'll find out.
Grimsley, 10 tackles, sack. Was this his best game, would you say?
It's his best game. He's getting better, and that's one of those guys we talked about from the first game, and now he's on to game 5, and he doesn't play a lot when teams have 2 tight ends and a fullback. He plays more in our spread stuff, and so still he's not playing 60, 70 snaps a game. He's playing 20 to 25 snaps, but he is getting better. He's feeling more comfortable. I'm hoping this week he continues to improve, but we're still a work in progress with Robbie. But for a true freshman, he showed up on a big stage.
Coach, as far as South Dakota goes, your thoughts on their running back Bauma? He's shown signs of that he can be good.
Yeah, I was really impressed with him last year, watching him, and I think he broke his wrist prior to playing us, so we didn't get a chance to play him. But he's a hard-nosed, physical runner. And then I had heard or read that he had an ankle injury and didn't carry the ball very much against Western Illinois. I saw him out there. You can see him in the game plan, but he didn't carry the ball a whole lot. So I'm interested in finding out his status, so to speak. But I think he's a really good running back. He's a north-south kid, but he's got enough speed to take the edge on you. He's a physical player that we have to be able to game plan against.
So yeah, the Dakota Marker game, the Northern Iowa obviously has that physical rivalry to it. Now South Dakota, how do you keep the thing rolling, I suppose?
Yeah, you look at the last 3 games we've played, UND to SDSU to North Dakota State. It's something that we haven't seen our guys yet, but it's something we're going to address right now with the team. And I meet with the captains this afternoon as well. Of you can't have a letdown. You have to prepare like championship teams prepare no matter who they're playing. They prepare really well on the field, off the field, and it's something that you need your leadership. You need your seniors. You need your captains. You need your coaches to stay on the guys. There's one thing about Saturday's game, and you look at offensively, even though we played extremely well the second half, we still need to run the ball better. Defensively, we saw the errors that we had. We had too many of them on defense. We won't have any problem getting these guys' attention to start this week because we need to play better.
Bruce Anderson's reps obviously went up with Lance being out. Did he impress you enough to say, you know what, we got to get more into the rotation?
Yeah, I think so. He really ran the ball hard. He's becoming more comfortable, probably similar to Robbie. He's not playing very many snaps. When we were on the multi-back rotation, I envision Lance not being full go, at least early in the week practice-wise. So, yeah, Bruce has got to take a fair number of reps. And I think Chase wasn't 100%. We thought he would be a little bit closer to 100, and he wasn't. So he's probably still not. He'll play. We know Chase. He'll play. It's just wait and see as far as what his availability is as far as carries and reps. Because moving forward, we talked about this. We have 6 Valley games left. We need a full-speed Chase Morlock. And if that means we have to sit him, we have to sit him. But we need a full-speed Chase because of all the things he does from a tight end, fullback, slot receiver, receiver out of the backfield.
Coach, back on USC, you talked about their rush offense. Their rush defense, pretty good numbers as well. What do they do well on that side of the ball?
Well, they changed from a 3-down to a 4-down defense this year. And so you can tell just in watching them, some of their things, they're not quite ironed out yet. But they're playing really fast. They're playing hard. They're getting enough people in the box to stop the run. So we've got to find a way to still hit those runs, but then be able to have some play action as well. But it's just a different scheme for these guys now. That going from a 3-down to a 4-down is a big difference in a transition over a year's time. And I like their defensive linemen. They're really active. They will take some chances. They'll stun a lot, and that's something that I know affected us a little bit against you and I. Of the base fronts, we blocked okay. It's the stunts and stuff that we have to do a better job of up front.
A lot of different players caught a pass on Saturday, and that's pretty unique for especially around here. Around here, we're kind of used to the same cast of characters. I don't say you're surprised by that because I know you have faith in guys, but does that jump out at you a little bit?
Yeah, I wouldn't have known that unless you said that. But, you know, I don't know what our leading receiver, I don't know what Vra has, how many receptions he even has. But, you know, that's Carson seeing the defense and seeing where the holes are in the defense and going to that specific area and whoever's lined up there, we're going to get them the football. And I think that makes us more difficult to defend. When you have Carson's ability to run the football as well as his ability to spread it around and not to just go to one guy, I think that makes us really difficult to defend. And I think we all realize, guys, we're witnessing something that's pretty unique and pretty special. Carson Wentz is playing at, and I know he turned the ball over a couple times on Saturday, but that player doesn't come around often in FCS football, and we're spoiled as coaches watching him. I think all of us as fans and stuff, that's a unique player that I'm just enjoying every time he goes out there and plays, because it doesn't surprise me, but it does amaze me at some of the things that he's able to do under the duress he is, because he was hit a lot on Saturday and he just kept standing in there and delivering the football.
So, Cooner, is this generally an elbow injury? Is that how we can classify?
Coach, I know you've spoken about it before, with Zach Vra setting the all-time school record for receptions. What has his value meant to the younger receivers on this team? And he's not a real vocal guy, but has it taken on a different leadership role?
Yeah, he leads by example. The catches that Zach makes, that he makes look routine, I know aren't routine in some of the catches he's made this year, but he does it all the time in practice. And how he prepares himself to practice on a daily basis. I mean, the guy's in his 6th year, and he still is working his footwork. The catch he made on 4th down seemed like an easy catch, but to have the concentration to get the football first and then lift his one leg up in the air a little bit just so he could tap that 1 foot down, that's stuff that takes a veteran to do, and he's teaching those younger guys. I mean, I look at RJ and I look at even Kayvon that hasn't gotten an opportunity yet. Those guys are watching him and witnessing this guy of how to perfect your craft on a daily basis, and his leadership among those young guys has been really valuable to us.
Elaborate a little bit just on Shepard. Has he met the expectations you guys have for him, maybe exceeded them? And I mean, obviously played through a lot of pain and overcame that kind of stuff, but as a player, as a teammate out there.
Yeah, he really has. You know, we knew he was a talented guy out of high school. He came from an unbelievable high school in Blue Springs. Blue Springs is one of the top schools in Missouri every year, and he came here redshirted, and then in the spring, we noticed him, thought he did some really nice things, but in the summer, give Coach Kramer and Darius credit, he really became a little bit faster, got a little bit stronger, got a little bit quicker, worked with the receivers and Carson a lot, and came into fall camp and just jumped out at us as a guy that was making plays and going up and getting the football. Even his first catch on a 3rd and 9, he twists his body around, lands on his back and shoulder. He got up and he's like, you knew he was hurting, but how tough he is and how competitive he is, he's not going to say anything. He's just going to go out and play, and he's got great quickness. He's one of those guys that, similar to RJ, if he gets his hands on it, not very likely is he not going to catch it, and Carson's gaining so much trust and confidence in him.
Does Carson's have you seen Carson's confidence affect this offense and just continue maybe to push them even further than maybe they thought their threshold was?
Well, he's so calm, and when you get into a situation like we were in with whatever 2.5 minutes left, no timeouts, and he comes to huddle and keeps everybody nice and relaxed, and that's, I think, having a no huddle compared to a huddle offense, it really helps you when you have a quarterback of his stature, his magnitude, to be able to just bring everybody in. We catch the ball and goes out of bounds rather than just lining up and playing. He gets them all in the huddle and says, all right, guys, here we go. This is just like we do on Monday nights. And everybody just play within yourself. Just do what we've done all week long. And we hit some plays that we had worked on all week long that we finally were able to hit late in that game because they finally played the coverage we'd worked all week long. And he made some really good plays, but he just is such a calming influence on everybody. that if Carson looked uptight, I'm afraid our receivers would look uptight, or Zach Zemer would when he had to come in the game. But Carson's demeanor is so calm and cool and collected. That's why I think he's the best player in FCS.
Coach, where's Dimitri Williams at, injury-wise?
We hope to see him this week. You know, he had that ankle against UND, and I heard on Sunday that they're going to he ran last week, but I didn't think he could cut to play wide receiver. Now having really Friday, Saturday, Sunday off, they're hoping that he will be closer to 80, 90%, and if he's there, can we get him closer to 100%? He's a guy that we are still counting on to be a slot guy, to be a return guy, and I hope it's this week. If not, I know he's getting closer.